Welcome back, Truth Seekers. This is a special note for everyone out there that is either never Trump, supporting Hillary, or just listening to the mainstream media lies and don't get it. And for those of you wondering, where's my weekly vlog? Yeah, it's still coming out. Something happened today that I had to get this off my chest. I could not let this slide, and I'll give you a little backstory here. So, this afternoon, right before I was about to get off from work, I caught a couple coworkers. They were females talking about some show that was just coming on, Stranger Than Fiction, Stranger Than Truth, something like that. I don't know. I don't have cable. I don't really watch TV, but I'm always interested in hearing about new and interesting shows. So I stopped by. I stood close enough to where they could see me, and they knew that I was listening in on their conversation about the show and how they found it so interesting. And before I could ask them, would they recommend it or to ask a little more about the show there, almost like they did a complete 180 and went from talking about something inane like a TV show to all of a sudden talking about Trump and and how one of them likes reading up on USAA during the day just to see what the next stupid thing Donald Trump says, and listening to the anger between these two ladies talk about Trump, and how what stupid things he said, and how much he just how much this country is going to hell in a handbasket because of him, and so on and so forth. So I stood by, I listened to him for about a minute or two go on, and then I raised my hand, being respectful. Can I just interject something here real quick? I I think that you're looking at this from the wrong perspective, and I tried to give him another perspective. No, I could not get more than a sentence in before they jumped on me about trying to defend this guy. And then what really got me going, what really insulted me about this whole thing was that one of them had, one of them said, "You're a veteran. How can you stand by and support the guy that after what he did?" And she was referring to the Khan situation, the Gold Star family, and so forth. And then after they just stormed off and walked away about that, that really freaking insulted me. That cut me deep, because I took that personally as a dig, that trying to say that I should be siding with this Khan guy because I'm a veteran and he lost his son in the war and so forth, and that somehow because I'm not siding with him that I'm somehow a piece of shit, or lesser than a not a smart person. I mean, I got a lot of emotion going on right now through this, because it just it folks, I am trying to keep my emotions on check here, but this, above all else, you do not insult my military service. I've proudly served this country, 6 years active, and I'm still in the reserves. Will continue to serve this country until I hit my 20-year mark, because I love this country so much. And I took an oath to defend this country and its Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will honor that to my dying breath. It doesn't matter after I retire. I will continue to serve with honor, courage, and commitment towards this country. So, since I can't really address these two ladies on this forum here, but I am going to use them as a backdrop as to why this came out, I went back to my cubicle and I, again, stewing over this whole thing here, and I came up with this idea. The idea is the title of this little talk here: Dr. Khanjob, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Trust the Trump. Now, let's just do a quick recap for those of you that may have been under a rock the last week and a half. So we had the Democratic National Convention last week, of which I was going to put a vlog out excoriating the whole convention as being nothing but a bunch of fear-mongering, lying bigots, and that is still coming out. It'll just be coming out after this. So you had the Democratic National Convention. One of the highlights, if you can call it that, was the speech by Dr. Khizr Khan, and, well, can't really say his wife had a speech because his wife just stood up there silently right by her husband, but I'll get to that in just a second here. Anyway, he put out a speech about how he's a Gold Star family. What is a Gold Star family? A Gold Star family is a family that unfortunately had a service member that died in a war. In this case, it was their son, who was a captain in the Army, who died in Iraq back in 2004, I believe it was. And first off, and condolences to their loss. Okay, as one veteran to the family of the family of a fallen veteran, nothing, uh, nothing can be more, nothing is more sincere than the understanding of the sacrifices that we have to make, that we do make on an almost daily basis to protect this country. And I know that his son died with honor and distinction in the line of duty. And for that, we should be grateful for their son's sacrifice. However, that is where my niceties end. Because coming up, I am just going to rip into this guy. But first, I want to just keep going with the background here. So he gives his speech. Okay, his son died, and he goes on and excoriates Trump for not having to ever sacrifice anything in his life, and how his ban on Muslims and just being terrible, and all the usual stuff that you expect out of a Democrat speech. Okay, well, Trump came back because Trump does not take guff from anybody. Trump hits back when you hit him. So Trump came back, and the first thing he said was, my condolences for the loss of your son, but, and then listen, why are you attacking me? Why aren't you going after Hillary, the one who voted for the war? And then on top of that, why didn't you let your wife speak at the convention there? She just stood by your side. Now, what was Trump implying? Well, Trump was implying that the father figure, Khizr Khan, was adhering to the Islamic custom Sharia law that women are to be seen and not heard, that women do not speak unless they're given permission to by their husbands. And Trump was making a distinction that, you say that you honor the Constitution and so forth, well, then why don't you let your wife speak? Well, that just blew up into a whole big kerfuffle, and everybody's interpreting it, Trump is attacking a Gold Star family. How dare he go after a Gold Star family? These people have suffered. Why don't, just terrible. And then at this time, you started seeing the results of polls coming out of the Democratic National Convention, and you started seeing a bump for Hillary Clinton in the polls, okay? Some of them in double digits. Then you had Trump not backing Paul Ryan or John McCain in their elections, and the Republican Party establishment is all ticked at him because he's not backing them when they said they would back him. And then you also have the rumors going around, the talk of there's going to be an intervention with Reince Priebus and Newt Gingrich and Rudy Giuliani and God knows who else, trying to get Trump to get back on message and stop attacking the Gold Star families, and just focus on the election and curb his tongue and so forth, yada yada yada. Anyway, the media is painting this as the Trump campaign is imploding. All right, certainly you could look at it that way if you wish. However, if these two females ever do happen to watch this video, all right, you cut me off before I was allowed to make my point here, and I'm very disappointed in that because I let you speak and go through your garbage. All right, I expected the same treatment when it came to my facts, but oh well, here we go. Trump is not imploding. Stop listening to the mainstream media. Stop listening to all these idiot pundits. I keep mentioning that these people don't have a clue what is going on. They live in their own little bubble within the Washington, New York metro area circle, and they do not understand that the majority of America is pissed off. We do not want Hillary. We do not want the establishment types. We want someone like Trump who, while not perfect, says that he is going to change things, okay? And his campaign is certainly far from imploding. Before that, though, let me go back to Khan here. Khan is not a sympathetic figure, okay? Khizr Khan should... The more that was revealed about this guy, the more you find out that he was a plant, that he was invited to this convention for one reason only, and that was because he was a loyal Clinton sycophant who could use his background as a father of a fallen soldier and as a Muslim to paint the picture that Trump is a racist, bigot, anti-military, homophobe, xenophobe. You get the point, okay? His son was killed in 2004. He has not spoken in public that I know of during 12 years. That's 3 presidential elections. Where was he when George Bush was going up for re-election? Where was he when Hillary Clinton first ran in 2008 and he didn't speak against her because she voted for the war? Oh, that's right. He is a lawyer from a law firm that represented not only Saudi Arabia but the Clinton Foundation. 10 years of work, people. You do not work at a law firm for 10 years without having some sort of affinity towards the clients that you have. All right, to be able to do the kind of work that you do, or you just somehow don't get involved in it and you just look at it as a straight job. But this guy did not do that. You look at his record, and he is on record actively supporting the Clinton Foundation. And then more than that, you find out more about this guy that he pulls out a constitution. Okay, it says, I don't think Donald Trump's ever read this. All right, he would know that his immigration policies is unconstitutional. No. What Donald Trump is proposing is completely constitutional. You look at what the powers enumerated within the Constitution says with regards to immigration. It states that the president has responsibility to pick and choose who can come into the country based upon national security as one of the reasons there. There is also no stipulation that you can't give a religious test to vet somebody to come in. So as a president, your first responsibility is to protect the American people. That means that you don't let in people that want to kill you or want to subvert the Constitution or the rule of law in this country. So, because you're wrong about that. You're lying, and not only that, but you're also on record supporting Sharia law. And if you don't know what Sharia law is, ladies and gentlemen, Sharia law is the Islamic doctrine of governance that dictates every aspect of life, from how you wash your hands to whether women can go out in the public with a non-male member of the family. It is antithetical to the liberties and freedoms of our founding documents. It is a ideology of slavery, of subjugation, of misogyny, of not homophobia, because I hate that term so damn much, but you're allowed to kill gays in Sharia law. You're allowed to kill women if they dishonor the family. And that could be anything from you caught her sleeping with somebody to she refuses to wear a hijab. I mean, stupid stuff like that. Then you also have other wonderful things about Sharia law, that non-Muslims cannot openly practice their faith. They cannot build churches. If there is an existing church there, they can use it, but if it burns down or gets wrecked or whatever, which is a common occurrence in these Islamic worlds, oh well, you're out of luck, you can't rebuild it. And then as a non-Muslim, you're forced to pay the jizya, which is a subservience tax. And if you don't pay that tax, they'll come after you and kill you. In fact, they'll kill you regardless, because in Sharia, if you're not Muslim, you're worth less than poop. You don't get rights. You're less than a second-class citizen. The dogs have more rights than you, and they kill dogs in Islam. This guy is a huge proponent of Sharia law. He's on record. And then, on top of that, he is also a lawyer that specializes in immigration law, particularly from Muslim countries, to help bring Muslim immigrants in through some weird EB-04 program. I don't even know what the exact title is. You have to look it up because I'm going off the top of my head right now. But he brings them in through this loophole of a immigration law and gets them to come in. No vetting, no proper background check on these people. He sneaks them on in by the thousands. And this was all public information. And it still is if you do one of those like way back internet machines, because since this came out, he's taken down his website to hide who he is. This guy is scum. He's a rat bastard Muslim jihadi Sharia enforcing or Sharia promoting rat bastard. And so Trump did not go after their son. Trump offered condolences, but he went after the parents for what they said, which wasn't true. They lied about Trump not sacrificing and going after him. Why the hell are they going after Hillary Clinton? She voted for the war. Oh, wait, I already told you why. Because he's working for her. And then, the wife sits there, nice and peaceful. And, in Sharia law, the wife is not allowed to speak unless the husband gives her permission to speak. If she speaks out of turn, he has every right under Sharia law to beat her. Yeah, great system. Anyway, so that's the story they're not telling you about with this Khan guy. All right, Trump is responding to them for their statements, not for the fact that their son died. Get that straight. Then you also have then going on to the talk of the interventions. Okay, it's bogus. A number of people that supposedly were listed in this intervention have come and said, no, this is totally false. Paul Manafort came out and said, look, the campaign is running great. I mean, yes, we have some differences in opinion here, but it's not like he's running off the cliff or whatever. Trump is being Trump. He's doing his thing, and that's what's winning him the people. And then not backing, Paul Ryan or John McCain. You know what? Screw those guys. Screw them. They are nothing but a bunch of globalist establishment pukes. They have done nothing to help Trump. They have done nothing. Oh, what? You're saying, Paul Ryan endorsed him and John came? No. What they said was, yeah, I could vote for him, but then every time Trump does something that is, quote-unquote, not politically correct, they come out and say, we condemn this. Trump needs to change his tone. And what kind of backstabbing assholes are these people? That they would sit here and tell us one thing that, they support him, but then stab Trump in the back, over something he said. These people are cowards. They care more about their own political gain, about their own political career, than they do about what's right for the country. And both of them need to go. Next Tuesday, Wisconsin, vote Paul Ryan out. Kick his ass to the curb. He won't even acknowledge angel moms. Those parents that have been the victims of illegal immigrants. What a cold bastard. What a cold-hearted bitch. Kick his ass out. And then, last point here, the polls coming out. Don't put your trust in the polls, okay? In my vlog that's coming out here this weekend, I gloated about the fact that Trump got a bounce in the polls right after the RNC. And the fact that, this was a good sign that people were coming to hear his message and they were coming to accept his message. Now it's coming out that Hillary's the one getting the bounce, and by Fox poll, for instance, by double digits. Here is the thing about the polls. Immediately after Trump started leading in the polls, okay, renowned pollster Reuters changed the way that they were doing the polls. Before they had, who would you vote for? Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, and neither, or none of the above, or whatever, okay? They are removing neither. They are removing that option. So they're forcing people to answer. A number of other polling units have also adopted this as well. That is going to skew it towards Hillary. Why? Because like the 2008-2012 election, nobody wanted to say that they weren't going to vote for Barack Obama because they didn't want to be called a racist. People are not going to say that they are not going to vote for Hillary Clinton because they don't want to be perceived as sexist. It's the identity card that they're going for here. Plus, people don't want to be, quote-unquote, associated with Donald Trump because he is a firebrand. He is the sort of person that if you say that you agree with him, you're automatically lumped into the racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobe group. And people don't want that conflict. They don't want to be labeled as something that they are not. And a lot of people don't have the wherewithal to defend themselves. And it also doesn't help themselves, like in the case of today, where I had, two women coming up at me or whatever, where the Democrats, where the left are like hyenas, and that they stick together like a pack, and they just come at you all at once. They don't give you an opportunity to defend yourself. And so it's impossible to have a rational conversation with them, even in a one-on-one situation. Now, people don't want that. So, of course, they're not going to say Trump because they don't want to be accused of being associated with him and then go through all that crap. Then you have, as I mentioned before in another vlog, that polls that you have to look at the way the questions are asked, and you have to look at the way the demographics are within the polls. You'll find that a lot of these polls, they have a lot more Democrats or left-leaning independents answering than Republicans or conservatives. Okay, that's always going to skew the results when you have more of one side answering than the other. I'm not saying discount the polls, but stop worrying about them for right now. And the reason why I am saying this is because the polls are a snapshot, as I've mentioned before, but B, they only sample a small size of the population. You need to look bigger. You need to look at what is going on within the country. Here's an example. Yesterday, Jacksonville, there were about 16,000 people packed into one stadium. And then I checked last night to see, because I subscribe to a YouTube channel that does live streaming of the event, and that one had, I forgot the total count, but it had over 20,000 at one time of people actively streaming online. That's like 35 to 40,000 people listening to his speeches. Almost, and this is not just last night. Other nights that I've looked at, it was similar results. You would have a packed crowd in whatever the stadium is, and another like 20 to 25,000 streaming online on just this one channel. And you think about how many other channels there are. I mean, there's more people listening to his message than what the media is reporting. That's why Donald Trump keeps saying, in every speech, hey, media, why don't you, pan over the crowd here and show the crowd to the audience back at home here, huh? I mean, you're being very dishonest here. I mean, he does that every rally to prove a point that there is a hell of a lot more people supporting him than there are protesters, than there are people not supporting him when it comes to these rallies. Then you also have the fact that you have unions like there's some coal miners, some steel workers, that unions that are backing Trump. Blue collar types. You have the Border Patrol union backing him. I mean, unions are traditionally Democrat strongholds. They're almost guaranteed Democratic votes. But now a lot of them are going for Trump. Media is not reporting that to you. Media is not telling you that a Democrat stronghold has, either gone purple or flipped red. Look at also the fact that Hillary Clinton does not do any appearances live. I mean, either she does like very small events or she can't pack them in. Like, how many of you knew that she went on a bus tour with Tim Kaine right after the Democratic National Convention, where she went through Pennsylvania and Ohio to rally and so forth? No one. Why? Because the media didn't want to cover the fact that her showing was so abysmal. Nobody showed up to her rallies. There's a picture going around where the media shows a packed rally for Hillary Clinton, but then somebody that was in the audience took a picture from the back, and there was like 50 to 100 people there. There's hardly anybody there, people. Nobody is going to see Hillary Clinton except the diehard sycophants. Why? Because they're the only ones that are so stupid and so brainwashed that they can't see that she's full of shit. They can't see that she is nothing but a shill for the globalist, that she is nothing but she's nothing but for herself. She is a harpy. On top of that, Clinton Cash. I mentioned this again. I keep referring to this blog. I need to get this blog out. I'm sorry. But millions of people streamed that when it was open. And not just conservatives. Bernie supporters, liberals. In fact, it is still being spread around right now. I just saw a news article this morning. The 13 Hours, the movie in Benghazi that came out in January, okay, didn't stay in theaters all too long. All right, it didn't make a whole. It made like 52 million or whatever when it came out. However, and it's also the only Michael Bay movie that I can actually say, other than The Rock, that I can actually say was actually worth a damn. But anyway, home sales, DVD sales, video sales, and rentals for this movie have jumped to 40 million within like 1 week of its release, and it's growing. What does that tell you, people? It tells you that people are waking up, that they're seeing past the lies, they're seeing past the bullshit that is being peddled to us by the damn mainstream media. Because the mainstream media is nothing but another arm of the DNC. So I write this, one, to just, vent my frustrations and feelings about, how angry I am that I was insulted the way I was early today, but also to give you guys hope. Do not be discouraged by what you are hearing in the media. The media is in the bag for Clinton. They want you to get discouraged. They want you to say there is no hope. That, I might as well just stay home. Or, you know what, Trump is such an idiot, I might as well vote third party. They want you to do that. They want you to say anything else other than, no, I am staying for Trump. I am voting for Trump. F you. Get the hell out of my country. I am tired of your bullshit. I am tired of you raking me over the coals. I am tired of you raising my taxes. That's another thing, too. Hillary keeps sticking her damn foot in the mouth. Media won't report that. The report Trump supposedly sticking her foot in her mouth. But today, she's at a rally, and she says, we're going to raise taxes on the middle class. Her exact words. Media won't report that, but we need to. It is up to us, ladies and gentlemen, to lead the fight, to kick the mainstream media in the balls, kick them to the ground, and keep kicking them till they stop kicking. We are going to have to fight as hard as we possibly can. Spread the word to everybody who will listen. Try to convince as many people who are open, who have an open mind. You're not going to get the Hillary sycophants. You're not going to get a majority of the Democrats. But you can possibly get a lot of Bernie supporters. Why? Because they're blue-collar people. They're people that are hurting right now. They need somebody championing them. Trump will champion them. You can go after a lot of the independents because Trump is for lowering taxes, for getting government out of our lives, like education, returning that power back to the states, for freeing up religious speech by getting rid of the Johnson Amendment, protecting the unborn. There's a number of issues that we could connect with the average everyday American. That is why we need to not be discouraged. We need to pray to God to give us the courage to stand up and say, I am not going to take this anymore. I am going to stand up for the truth, and I am going to say enough is enough. We need to pray that our enemies confound themselves and confuse themselves to the point where they will not be able to get their message out. And we also need to pray that Trump continues to hammer away at Hillary Clinton. Yes, it's annoying when he gets sidetracked on these little squabbles when people come up and attack him. But at the same time, they're not just attacking him, they're attacking us. So I appreciate the fact that he's standing up and telling these people, hey, you're an idiot, shut up. All right, but he needs to focus more on Hillary Clinton. I acknowledge that. So we need to pray that he can do so. But don't lose hope, ladies and gentlemen. We still have plenty of time before the election. We will not only turn this around, we will win in November. Trust in God. Trust in Trump.